Hi, Leo. All right, so welcome to this space. It's called Opal Oracle. If you're new here, if you're returning, welcome back. Okay, so I thought we'd look at the last third of the year for good measure. We picked a little section for September, October, November, December. Take a gander at that, and then I am recording this during Mercury retrograde, so I figured the undercurrent of the decks in total could be a little bit of that message too, which will be until about the middle of September. So that could play some kind of influence. But just remember that when Mercury's in retrograde, it's a good time to go over, like, well, what the ideas are, or, you know, never be afraid to have a conversation, I guess. Yeah, we'll leave it like that, to say what's on your heart, perhaps. Let's actually look at that because that's kind of a present energy right now. We have Queen of Swords Queen of Pentacles and Two of Swords. So for some of you, there could be something that's starting this out that, say someone else in your life could be, that you're really close to, could be kind of having a bit of a hard time. Maybe in figuring out like what they're supposed to do. But I also see some really tight bonds here that are actually like super stable and really, really awesome. So in relation to your own energy, I would say please don't question yourself so much on your own value and like how awesome you are, how the relationships that you have created in this life have helped and are helping you grow. Okay. I suppose for some of you, depending where you're at, this could be a little bit of, if you're tied to anything or anybody that isn't, this could be present. It could also be deep in the past with this Queen of Pentacles. Like, this could be like a mental thing where, like, say physically you're not attached to whatever this was, but it's still affecting you in some kind of way. I want you to remember where you are now versus what used to be. It would be more of what you want it to be, okay? I suppose there's also a little bit of your personal relationships and then your work relationships and trying to find like a good balance in them. Give me 1 second. There could be some work if you have any like financial decisions also that you're kind of going over. I guess particularly as the intention was Mercury retrograde, I would say you could look over your finances, you could look over your expenditures, see what you have of the physical things that you have in this life of value. That which you create is also a very big one in the physical world, right? Say it's a creative talent of yours, or some sort of ability to manage money, or you know, there could also be a little bit of, especially those of you who are like single or very independent people, where you're kind of like, well, how do I combine long-term goals in relation to other people? You know, I heard again. So, because I guess this Mercury retrograde in some sense will make you feel, there's some kind of feeling here. Let's see. Ace of Coins. if you ever get stuck in a feeling or in your head and you're questioning things too much, again, remember, Mercury retrograde can sometimes make us think about the past, or the mind may go to these places that it used to. If that happens to be in a way where it is diminishing, like if it blocks you in any way to how awesome now is, right? She has the same flowers as the magician. So there's something that you have the ability, that you have created in and of yourself, all by yourself, and well done. And now it's almost like the universe is like, okay, well, how could you see this growing into a combination of something where, like, you can combine. It's almost sun and moon energy, or like masculine, feminine, your home life and your work life, like these kinds of opposition energy that actually are always together. Do you know what I mean? So I saw the words believe in yourself, believe in what can be achieved. Oh, we didn't finish that either. If you do get stuck for some reason, you start getting back into questioning yourself in some kind of way. I heard that is unnecessary. This is when maybe you want to just look at remember where you are right now, okay? And try to work on these balances of things, because that will help you, okay? All right, let's see September. And by the way, I hope you had the happiest birthday. It was 7 minutes exactly. Let's see September for you, Leo. Ooh, King of Wands, Zinga, let's take that. Ooh, antlers, I love it. Oh, and the King of Pentacles. Holy. So, okay, whatever the concern is, whatever the thing is that this Mercury retrograde time is like making you a little tricky, at times, it actually is not the case. So, September. Well, you get two pretty strong characters here. Very mature. Let's talk about each one of them. King of Pentacles has everything in the physical world. Comfort, home, food, awesome clothes, sweet shoes. They have authority. They have confidence. This could also be where some of you have reached some kind of pinnacle, or like completion point in ways of work. I'm seeing this sort of like as a project in a way. Like, because King of Wands is so creative, right? And actually, King of Pentacles has a Venusian energy, which is also very creative. So there's something. I guess your energy is really full. The energy is really full in September for you. This could be your physical energy, as well as like what's happening in the material world. Like there's kind of, I guess in a way, there's sort of a lot going on in September. But King of Pentacles is very abundant, right? They literally have all the physical things, and they're super comfy in that. So remember that you have everything that you need, okay? Now, King of Wands is a little bit more, he's full also, but he's a little bit more of a, this is more your energy fire, right? Which is kind of like get up and go. How do I explain this? I heard remember your gratitudes. There could also be an earth sign and a fire sign of the past. Let's put it this way. There's an earth sign and a fire sign. And I see a bit, if I try to tune into like a specific sign for each one of these, although I know these are general, but I would see this more as like Taurus, Leo energy. So what are we talking about? What you possess in your heart, what you possess for courage, how you love. This is also like the king and the artist. So these are also a little bit of they're a little bit of opposites. So you want to make sure that, again, there's an emphasis of like laughter, like being free, being fun, your natural energy, right? Because I don't think with these kings you'd be able to push anything in this time. It would be more like refining, or also realizing the support that you have, right? There could be males that are very important in this time, or people that have a lot of strong earth and fire in their chart. You know, this is also like really wise counsel. This also shows me protection, okay? I would also say, remember, we've talked about this for a long time, but like, you don't always have to be happy, but you know what feels good to you or not. You know? Like, I guess that's the thing. It can't always feel good, life, right? We're going to have times where we're like, fuck, am I doing the right thing? Like, or you think about the old thing and it gets you down for a second. It's just like, you know, you think you're going to slip into the trap or something. Yes, or something like that. I heard, but that's only what the head says to the hat. What you want to tap into here is reminding yourself that apparently, if this is we take this as just your reading, excuse me, this shows me you super stable. Okay, especially in ways of your career. You don't need to worry about that, like money, things of this nature. I guess some of you could also be looking forward to the end of the year. I'm seeing these antlers. So it has something to do from the equinox to the solstice. Oh, that's reminding us to move forward. Okay, we've said enough about that. Let's see October. Okay, 8 of coins. Lots of earth here. Good. That means you're nice and stable and steady. And the Empress, more earth. Really beautiful. So they could have something to do with your mother, or with like another, with your mother or another, with, particularly for some of you females, very significant here also. Oh, this could also be like extended family member also. You know, your sister-in-law, your auntie, your great aunt, like even your grandmother of the past. Think something, energy like this. October is also asking you 8 of coins with the Empress card. I heard, let's take it in a positive. This could be where there's another emphasis of what you do for work and how awesome, whatever you do in life, and like how awesome you are. There could also be someone that's like really, this actually, September, October has a lot to do with too of who and what you find inspiring. I mean, I heard they may work differently than you at times, but like there's something that's it's like, oh wow, because this person isn't worried about time. This is very, very comfortable energy here, okay? I'd also say this is kind of an emphasis of a project. This could be completion of something and then a starting of something new. Let's see. I want you to believe in your talents. What do you do creatively? You're such a creative sign, Leo. What do you love to create? Okay. I would also say this could be October would be a really good time to also plan for next spring, okay? Like sort of a future forward kind of energy where you're like, all right, you are here now, and that obviously is a solid place, so you want to look forward. Maybe this could also be like, say, from now until the new year, maybe this is where you want to go through your tools, go over them, see what you have, what you can work with. Also, there's something about the future here too. I would say if you have a family member that's still alive, that you haven't forgiven, it'd also be a nice time. I guess we'll put it this way. It's a really nice time to make peace with something. And actually, I see some of you could learn a really beautiful, like, this is could be like a pretty hardcore life lesson in relation to family. It could also have to do with exes of yours, or like, for some of you, the father of your children or the mother of your children, like things like that, whether you're with them or not. It's just like finding some kind of comfort there. It could also be something where someone tells you something when you're a kid or when you're younger, and it's like where someone tells someone something, but then they don't quite get it in that moment. Yeah, thank you, Zumi. And then all of a sudden, it's like the wind makes sense. You're like, oh, that's what they meant, or like, oh, it's like a person recognizes a strength. And there's a lot of admiration here also. Now, if we take this just as you, I don't know if we mentioned this, but this is another emphasis of doing well in what you're creating, doing well in your work, particularly your finances could also be like really comfortable, okay? So if you ever have qualms about that, star, then, well, I heard make a list of what's really important to you, okay? And what you have that is so awesome, like the gifts you've been granted, the wishes and dreams that have come true, particularly when it comes to like how you feel about certain things in your body. And wherever it is in your body that you want to heal, that is also something that, because some of you could also like put some kind of old, you could finally like bury something, if you will, that, because this is almost like a Scorpio Taurus axis, okay? So because, it's not, how do I see this? It's an emphasis of like, it's right now, right? And remember, we're getting into autumn, and I know you're fire, so you like to constantly go. You have a pretty steady fire, you're a fixed fire energy. But remember that winter is for, right, this is the equinox here. From now until spring, it's more about home. It's more about, it's a lot about doing things inside, being within something and creating there, okay? It can still get put out like as an external, but you want to make sure that you rest, right? Maybe the weather kind of affects you too. And I know the days are getting a little shorter as we go along, depending where you are, right? So you'll know the seasonal shift will give you an indication. This is also kind of a nice time to like launch something also, or to plan for a launch of something. Okay, let's see November. Okay, we have Emperor in reverse. If there's any mean people in your life, people that are mean to you, this includes you to yourself, but if you have any mean people in your life, this goes back into this previous message we just mentioned in October. Because this is going to kick back into the Empress. So don't let what has happened to you interfere what is happening now. Okay? And I heard it again, like if anyone is mean to you, what is that about? Death? Well, it's Scorpio time. It's a great time to let go of that person, or that energy, or that memory, or that, I heard that I heard believe in your ability to what love can be. Okay. I heard what love is. Maybe that's a question for you. Like, what is love? What love is, Leo? Let's see. 10 of Pentacles and Page of Pentacles. Oh, okay. There's a few layers. Oh, I see. You're doing this interesting. It's like if you took your map, the circle map, and you split it in half. Excuse me. And it's like the top half is sun and the bottom half is moon. So again, you're combining these 2 points that seemingly are opposite, right? Like night and day, man and woman. Like but they're not actually opposites. What they do is they mirror each other, and when that is in sync, right, when all the pieces fit together, well, I heard whether it's empowering or not. If something is disempowering, I don't know if this is your family or your boss or your whoever, like I don't know who this is, but like just a second. Well, this is looking over at December. Let's simplify for a second. November. This shows me another full energy, okay? 10 of Pentacles shows success. It shows good family relations. There's animals here. There's people that are older than you. There are people that are your peers. There are people that are younger than you. I see work being really good, but it's kind of like, because where I am, it's becoming winter, right? So the energy there would be like, okay, what are your future plans? Okay, don't be afraid of the future. Because with the Empress, we're always planting a seed and then we're growing, right? It's a slow growth with the Empress. It's like you can't tell sometimes that something is exactly like growing. It's just like you can feel it, right? You're like, oh, it's a feeling of growth. It's a feeling of creativity. So I heard maybe some of you are hungry for that. This is, for instance, if you've been working a lot, it would be like, okay, well, what are you doing? Leo, to me, you're one of the most creative signs. What are you doing for your own self in ways of your own creativity, right? Please remember the balance of creating at work, creating at home, creating in yourself, creating with other people, okay? And especially like the new parts of you that have been like, that you're more honest with now. Do you know what I mean? And probably having to do with how you approach like difficulty too. You know what I mean? Like how things are dealt with. Problems are resolved, things like that. I'd also say some of you could be learning at work, or maybe some of you are considering taking a class in relation to, I don't know, this could be, oh, I heard this could be therapy for some of you. This could be like a group that you join. It could be, again, taking some sort of course that would enhance your work. Now, as I see like your physical job being solid here, whatever that is, even if you're retired, it's like, okay, that world's like settled and comfortable. And you have a lot of support here. It's kind of like, you know, maybe it's like, wow, I've always wanted to take that pottery class, you know, or I don't know, it could even be like watching YouTube videos to learn about like how to do some kind of method that could help you in the future to like learn about something, because there's a whatever you've been learning about or want to learn about is also becoming like a physical reality. And it could be for some like changing really who you are. And honestly, I see this as a really good thing. But remember, changing who you are, or what you've gone through, or whatever the scenario is. It's like however you're taking this, it's like, remember that's usually, change is always healthier when it's slow, right? We can do things a little bit fast sometimes, like if the feeling is there to flow with it. And I want you to remember how cute you are. Okay, let's see December for good measure. 6 of coins. Look how much earth you have. That's so good for you. Let's see. Oh, and there's the Emperor. Okay, see. Oh my goodness, look at Empress, Emperor. So there's such a beautiful connection here. There's like a bridge. Okay. So you had Empress, right? Which actually is kind of this Queen of Pentacles, whatever this was in the beginning. All the queens in combination create this Empress, right? So that is like all the internal workings, right? It's 4-wheel drive within you. Whenever you need it, right? I heard the road doesn't have to be bumpy. You know, it's just knowing, you know inside of you, like, if I ever had to deal with anything, I'm dealing with anything internally, like, I can manage that. And if you ever do get stuck for some reason, even if you're in 4-wheel drive, it's just like, well, then you just, I heard, call your friends. Okay? Knight of Wands. Yeah, someone, like, totally comes to the rescue. You know, like, no matter what your situation you're in, I heard big or small, it's like, I heard I want you to continue to laugh, be awesome, and stand tall, okay? And then I saw someone like laughing and crying at the same time. When's the last time you laughed so hard you cried? So, whatever it was that made this Emperor in the reverse, I guess that there's some kind of, these 2 months, September, November, are kind of like they're so full that you don't need anything. You don't need to worry about anything through this whole spread, but particularly these two, like, you don't need to worry about this. Maybe for some of you, there's something about, again, Scorpio, Taurus, or it's Virgo, Scorpio. Those in your map, I see, are solid. This is also being able to control your own mind also, like, I saw someone playing chess. I heard maybe it's about what you remember. Now, if there was anything that was causing you, again, to question, because someone gains confidence here. With the 6 of Coins, look how beautiful this is. I love yellow. I love yellow roses, especially miniature ones. This is a very helpful person here. They're very kind. They know when to give. They know how to give. This could be a little bit of learning to receive for some of you. Maybe some of you go on a really beautiful, like, this could be like a date. Oh, this is also holy day time too, right? Maybe someone's trying to, like, someone may be like, will they like that? That's what I see. Will they like that? Like, I heard, am I enough? It's like, yes. Yes, of course you are. You're the emperor and the empress here. And double king and a queen. Like, this is all, okay, look. I know the page is here, but this page is the most positive page. He's all about learning, right? Loves to learn. Loves to learn. Loves to know about, loves to learn about themselves. Loves to learn about, like, how to make things efficient. Loves to learn about art. Loves to learn about how to, like, how money works. Like, it's really, they're not afraid either. So there could actually be a really awesome teacher. Some of you may find your guru, or like some kind of, I heard, like, elderly, like, energy, like wise energy to guide you. Now remember, I heard this is also, who are you? Because you are this to someone else too. Okay? I guess someone could think something's a little bit impractical, this emperor. I heard if this has to do with the past, and if you've made boundaries, okay, with something, if you held all this confidence energy, oh, we didn't get into that. All these kings and queens and the emperor and the empress. Remember, emperor and empress are the elevation of all of the kings and queens together. So there's something that has been growing that's really beautiful. And for some of you, this is a really awesome relationship. I mean, this could go back to, like, what you've learned, again, about your family and your parents and things like that, males and females that were influential to you when you were a child also. Maybe you want to look to that, to, like, what was inspiring there, you know, instead of the thing that, like, hurt. That could also be a part of this, because this is also indicative to your relationships now. You know, this could also be like exes of yours and things of this nature. But Emperor is very confident, and with 6 of Coins and the way that this card is illustrated, I would say that this is something where you close out the year really feeling balanced, okay? And this, roses are Mars and Venus together, which is another emphasis of this Emperor-Empress energy. So I heard there's something that wants to be created between you and me, okay? So what is that? that you are wanting to create with others, okay? And particularly, this is work relationships and private relationships. And I would say that, again, with all these kings and queens and emperors and empresses, these are really, really powerful, mature, loving, confident energy around. I mean, not every person can give the same thing. It reminds me of Aries reading for August, which was like looking at people's strengths and being like, cool, you're good at this. Okay, you're good at that. I'm good at this. You know, I'm good at that. And then combining those things, you know. And I heard it's really cool when there are different perspectives too. Absolutely, it makes it creative, right? Actually can get, like, when we have like mental blocks of like how does it work or whatever, you know, it can really open that up, you know, make it more fun. There's the Six of Pentacles, and balance something out. Interesting. All right. This is awesome. I mean, goodness gracious. 10 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Empress, Emperor, Queen of Pentacles. Look, here's a masculine, feminine relationship. These relationships are super solid. Okay? If it ever doesn't feel solid, all you have to do is communicate. Okay? I heard don't question how you feel too much. Then we have Emperor, Empress, which is another like masculine, feminine, beautiful relationships that are also, spirit is also, you know, some of you actually are getting over with this eight of coins and this November energy. Some of you are actually getting over some sort of, like, I heard scary Scorpio thing. I don't know if this is about death in the past or difficulty, suffering, sorrow, like whatever that is. There's something that finally turns around in you so that you don't keep repeating some kind of lesson that attaches you to the past in a negative way, where you can, right, 5 of Cups, 6 of Cups, right? Yep, there you go. Death. I heard death to sadness. Death to sadness. And what does that bring you? Well, beautiful, genuine, loving, fair feelings between you and others and what you were creating in these places. Okay? And even if there's love, you know, this reminds me, I'll give an example, like Zumi, right? For those of you who've been around, it's like Zumi was one of my favorite people in my life, really. And even though she's not here with us anymore in a physical sense, you know, like that love is never any less. So maybe that's also a part of what is being learned here, is that, like, even if it's not physically there, it's what you want to remember about it. Okay? Yep. And obviously whatever's going on here is very, very, very positive. So I heard don't question your love. No, look at, we just split to the 2 of Cups with the 9 of Cups. Don't question your love. Here's another dual, beautiful, like, mirroring energy. Okay? There's really powerful relationships in this time, so I want you to build upon the ones that are good and healthy and you know are stable and solid. Okay? Because whatever those are, work, like professional life, external world, and in your private world, internal world, please build upon them, because, and recognize the strengths of them, because they are many. Okay? And so solid here. Goodness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we had the Queen of Pentacles, which is 6 Pentacles, 6 coins. And then here we go. It's like you're becoming a new you, in a way. Or becoming more of a mature expression of who you are in the external world. And it's so beautiful. I want you to know how beautiful or handsome you are, how abundant you are, how loving you are, how creative you are. Okay? Yes. You're such a freaking hard worker. So don't forget to take a break too there, sugar. Alright. You take care. And I hope you enjoyed this reading and it was of service. I will talk to you next time. Peace out.